Hello, good evening. Yes, I'm on here with my hair tied down, looking like a little bit of a glazed donut from eyelid to bottom lip. Um, it's part of my little nighttime skincare routine that I've had way before everybody started hopping online and doing it. Little backstory, but this is not why I got on here, but a little backstory about my skincare. I think I was it was either a doctor's office or a hair salon when I was living in Washington, D.C., and I was 25 at the time, 25 or 26, maybe 27. But I remember thinking in my head, like, I want to make sure I take care of my skin because that's something that my mom always did, was always take care of her skin. And, I remember her telling me, of course, the older you get, you need to make sure you take care of your skin. Like you need to, you need to do what you need to do to, snatch your face. So anyway, I remember thinking, well, okay, well, how will I do that? And then I remember reading Oprah's magazine one day, and this was a long time ago, maybe still early 2000s, maybe not, I don't remember. But anyway, I remember reading Oprah's magazine, and there was a list on skincare by every decade for women. And one of the things that I've noticed is the purpose of keeping your skin moisturized and keeping sunblock on your face. And so ever since I read that article, I remember talking to my mom, and I remember going to the store and looking for face sunscreen specifically for the face. And for the longest time, I only used two products, and that one of them was Aveeno. I use Aveeno for forever, okay? Because that was the only, at the time, that I could find. That was the only face sunblock that I could find specifically for the face. I learned that, of course, face and body and all this stuff, very different. Knew that a long time ago. But I use Aveeno for like forever, like for a long time, until other brands started coming out with other sunblocks. Okay. And I almost want to say the other one was either Neutrogena or Clinique, one of the combination of the two. And if I didn't have any of those, I just mixed regular sunblock with moisturizer with Pond's and just mixed it together and just put it on my face. And of course, a long time ago, I got put on to Mary Kay's nighttime situation. And so I've been using that and just lather on my face. And so, I personally have to thank my skincare OG, my mama, who put me onto all of this way before it got so trendy. So, but anyway, that's not why I hopped on here. So I wanted to talk about one nutritional rant. I don't know if this is rant 3 or 4 or 5, whatever. Like I said, I figure I'd do this before I lay it down. So something to really ponder about. So I know a lot of people are trying to avoid certain things, avoid certain products. And I'm right there with everybody because, me personally, I'm kind of sort of on my way to being one of those to trying to get rid of toxic free stuff. So, or make my home toxic free. For example, I have stopped using, I was using Army Hammer. But then, of course, I got notification that, some parts of Arm & Hammer are banned in the state of New York because of the chemicals in it. And so because of that, that just led me to leave all forms of regular brand name detergent alone. And then same thing with, I don't use a microwave that often. I actually do my best to stay away from it. Sometimes you can't always stay away from it. Just once in a while you gotta nuke something. But in my house, I don't have a microwave. Like, it has never occurred to me to set myself out and go buy one. It just never dawned on me. Anybody that knows me personally knows I didn't really grow up using one unless somebody moved into the house and bought it with them. Because my mom wasn't nuking no food. Okay. But I am getting ready I stopped using air fresheners. yeah, so anyway, like I said, that's not why I'm on here. I want to talk about nutrition a little bit. And so, like I said, I know everybody is very focused about certain things that we should avoid as far as food. And for sometimes for individuals who might be new to being much more mindful of the things that they should avoid eating, like certain things and certain aspects of their food should be, you know, they're trying to avoid it, but for some it can be hard because they're not sure everything that they should avoid, right? First, let me give you some background about myself a little bit. I just gave you background about my skincare routine. But I definitely have some skin in the game. Been in the fitness industry for over 10 years. Have a bachelor's and master's in exercise science. I have a doctorate in public health. I have a nutrition coach certificate. So just trying to give you, little pointers to put you on hip on the game a little bit. And so one of the things that in terms of public health and information that is pushed a lot is the concept of having a balanced meal. Okay. You can Google it. You could go to CDC's website. You can go, I believe World Health Organization might have a website. Most nutritional websites have this. So there's little things that you can find information about a well-balanced diet. Okay. And that really should be your first reference, to be very honest with you. Just to get an idea of a well-balanced diet. But sometimes I get people that come to me already and was like, well, I don't necessarily know how to count this stuff. Food tracking is overwhelming. It is, because to sit down and to track everything that you eat is overwhelming. Okay. And then now you're being mindful of certain chemicals in this food, certain chemicals in that food, and certain chemicals. So I'm gonna put you on the game real quick. Okay. Something that'll help you a lot. I hope it has helped me, and I hope it helps you. So first off, before you try to figure out all the stuff that you got to avoid, okay, just take a typical 48 or 72 hours and write out everything you eat. Just write it out. Don't go back and track nothing. The only thing that I encourage you to do is write out everything you eat in a 72-hour period. Okay. Right now, we're not talking about physical activity. I just focus on what you're eating. Okay. So after 72 hours, then once you are comfortable and you're seated somewhere and you have the time to evaluate everything you ate, go back and calculate the amount of grams in protein you've obtained in a day, the amount of carbohydrates you obtained in a day, the amount of fats, both saturated and unsaturated fat, that you have obtained in a day, and the amount of the amount of vitamins and minerals that you obtain in a day from every single thing that you can eat. The best place, of course, I'm not affiliated with any of these apps, but is a nutrition app. Okay. They'll definitely help you be able to find it. But if you want to go the extra mile, just take some time. I mean, make it a journal prompt. Definitely open up a journal or get a journal and journal everything you ate, and then document how you felt behind that. Okay. Or just, document the emotional attachment that you had to it. Most of us have an emotional attachment to certain foods, and that's why sometimes we go for certain foods. And you'll notice one thing that I bet you that is one thing that everybody should avoid, and that is excessive sugar. Do you know we really only supposed to have but a teaspoon of it? And most of us are having 6 cups of it. Okay. So I could guarantee you that's probably the most prominent thing that is in everything that is in your diet is the excessive sugar. Okay. Some of us are eating way more than 4 servings of fruit a day. You don't need that much fruit. Okay. You don't need that much fruit. If you're going to eat a lot of fruit, eat it before noon. Okay. Because essentially that's kind of giving you the energy that you need. That's a little bit of the peak of your day, so you can get over that hump. And even if you do have to carry it over to the afternoon, spread it out. Don't have that. Maybe have 2 servings in the morning and maybe a third in the evening if you desire to have fruit. But again, you do what works best for you. But I could tell you that most of y'all eat too much fruit all day. So just be mindful of that. And even in some of these juices that some people want to drink around the clock, okay? Probably not a real good idea, because you want to think about the amount of serving size that is probably in that fruit. But like I said, I guarantee you most of us, and I say us because I'm in that fold too, are taking in too much sugar. And that is definitely for sure the very first thing that we need to be super duper mindful of, okay? Because most of us are addicted to it. And most of us are addicted to it. Just decide to make a choice to fast from it for a couple of days. What is the first thing or first couple of symptoms that you have without sugar? In a matter of hours, you got a headache, you ready to punch somebody in their face, you're moody, you're cranky. That's almost like the withdrawal from a addictive drug, a narcotic. Okay, similar symptoms. Okay, you're grouchy, you're sweaty, you feel like your heart is racing. It is a legitimate withdrawal, and most of us are addicted to sugar, and it is in everything. It is in sauces. Some of you guys like to send your salad swimming. Okay, you don't need that much dressing, dog. You don't need that much dressing. Just go ahead and get you some fresh squeezed lemon and some pepper, and just combine the two, little ingredient here and there inside that lemon juice, and spread it across your salad. You don't need 5 capfuls of salad. And then at that point, if you have to douse your salad in dressing, you don't need it. You don't need it. Okay. So be mindful of that. As much as Chick-fil-A has amazing sauce, if you want to do 1 pack, that's all you need. Okay, just 1 pack. Some of us love ketchup. That's another thing that is full of sugar. Okay, and of course the sodas. I could tell you coffee is another culprit. Especially coffee from Starbucks. Not only is there excessive caffeine, there's excessive sugar. Okay. I can speak for myself. Thinking about what someone had told me about, I don't need coffee, and I really don't. Okay. I mean, matcha is a good substitute. I have other teas that help with giving me some energy. Green, just standard green tea is definitely, if I ain't got time to make the fancy matcha, I got green tea, just steep and go. Okay. And I drink it plain. I don't really, and let me tell you something. If you drink it plain on an empty stomach, baby, that is a cleanse you ain't asked for. Okay. So, but anyway, most of us take in way too much sugar. Way too much sugar. We really don't need that. We really don't need that. And essentially, the reason why some foods feel so good is because the amount of sugar content in it. It's like, an individual who might be addicted to crack cocaine. All they need is a hit. All they need is a hit to feel better. It's a little bit of the same thing. All you need is a hit of that first sip of Starbucks, that iced mocha latte with 19 pumps of vanilla and all sorts of stuff. All you need is a candy bar, just a hit to feel good. And I say that because, sometimes I'm like that too, but I just give me a piece of candy. I'll be all right. So I can tell you for sure that our main culprit is excessive sugar. Okay. We're going way beyond the amount of sugar that we need. Some of us consume it excessively in alcohol. Okay. Well, through alcohol. Now, alcohol is a whole nother topic that I'll talk about on a whole nother day. But, some of us want these super sugary, super sweet drinks. Okay. That's where a lot of that sugar is coming into. Okay. Now, a lot of people want to cut out carbs. Well, let me tell you something. Carbohydrates is your friend. You do need those, but you just want to be mindful and know the differences between the type of carbohydrates you need. Another video. But our main culprit is the excessive sugar, and it's hard to avoid because it's in everything. And, it's essentially there for flavoring and shelf maintenance and all this other stuff. But I could guarantee you our main culprit, if we're trying to avoid certain chemicals in certain food items, sugar is one of them. Okay. Now, like I said, give you a word of encouragement. I just have this randomly notebook from here. Just grab a notebook, start a journal. Just start a food journal that you just record at night and just really, as opposed to scrolling, as opposed to binge watching, just find it within yourself to document everything you ate today. Don't worry about right now. Don't worry about calculating it at the moment. Just give yourself a couple of days and just be mindful of everything you eat and just document it. And don't judge yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Just go and eat. Then go back and I want you to pull out everything that has more than the daily recommended amount of sugar. I guarantee you, and yes, it incorporate fruit. Fruit is up in there too. Okay. Because like I said, some of us consume it way too much throughout the day. And like, that's why you have to sometimes be careful with individuals that got all these, that say that they're vegetarian or vegan and all they do is sip juice all day. What? Man, fruits and vegetables. No disrespect to those that, if that's a diet that works for you, that's fine. I have a lot of friends that are vegan and vegetarian and they have balance in their diet, but there's some individuals that all they consume is carbs. It's a lot of carbs. So, but I encourage you and I challenge you for sure, just get a food journal, and just start one and just, really be mindful of how you felt with this food and how did it make you feel. Talk about your emotional attachment to it, why you like this food. I bet you a good, chunk of us have food attachments because it might remind us of home. Okay, some of us have attachments with overconsumption of foods because we may have grown up lacking it, or not having a lot of it. So, I was there, I was in college. I didn't have a whole lot of food. First paycheck I got, you best believe I went to eating. So, I mean, essentially, a lot of us have emotional connections to food that we need to address. What's helping constantly support those emotions is the levels of sugar that is in said foods. So I highly, 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 highly encourage you to just start a food journal and just create an awareness about how you feel with this food, and eventually you'll be able to say, hey, I cooked this and I really enjoyed this. But it has X amount of protein, X amount of carbohydrates, and X amount of fat in it. And this contributes to my macronutrient counter, whole nother topic. But this contributes to the amount of macronutrients I need to be able to achieve this goal. And so there's nothing wrong with, some people want to hire somebody to go ahead and make their food. I understand that, you know what I'm saying? Which is cool. But me personally, I rather know for myself what is in my food. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with that. So I know a lot of us are trying to take the easy way out. But like take some time to really read the ingredients. But like I said, most of us got a sugar addiction like no other. Okay. So, and that has to be addressed. I can guarantee you that is the first thing that we need to address. Just the amount of things that change in your body when you let go of the excessive sugar. So, but that's not to say that every now and again you can't enjoy food. By all means, I like a good spread from the Waffle House every now and again. I like their chocolate chip pancakes. I like grits. So, but I ain't at Waffle House every day. Okay. I'm not eating truthfully, like my breakfast is either high protein or high fiber. Because I like a bowl of healthy oatmeal. People pick on me all the time about my healthy oatmeal because it is literally water and cinnamon. Okay, because I can't. I'm not a fan of the milk. And then same thing with, I have like a little egg scramble, which is eggs, potatoes, sausage, and butter toast or butter McMuffin. Like I don't have a wide variety of food. So when it comes to breakfast, only when I'm traveling or for whatever occasion or when I feel like it, yeah, I'll go enjoy Waffle House. Or, if I'm traveling and trying something new, I will go to that place. One of my favorite places that I was thinking about and talking about too with someone today that came out all crazy because it's time to go to bed was Pancake Pantry in Nashville. Oh my goodness. That place is awesome. And I enjoy pancakes, but I ain't in there every day. So, and one of the things, if I were to document my experience with Pancake Pantry, I would document that I was on vacation. I was enjoying myself. I'm trying to do a food tour in New Orleans. I'm gonna enjoy myself. It's New Orleans. New Orleans is apparently the foodie capital of the world, and I plan on enjoying myself. So, like I said, there's nothing wrong with enjoying those things on occasion, but if you have specific goals, keep those goals in mind when you are selecting certain foods. But I'm just posting this video, hoping it helps somewhat in terms of achieving your goals, health goals, physical goals, even emotional goals. Because like we feel like we're a totally different person once we get some sugar in us, but we're a totally different person when that sugar is not there. So it's time that we really start to address that before we decide to get rid of all the other things that are in a million other foods. You think about it, it's crazy the amount of foods that are banned everywhere else but here. But before we get into too many details about certain aspects and certain things of food, avoid the sugar. Document what areas of your diet can you remove sugar. FYI, diet is not a calorie reduction concept. It is what you eat in a day. That's what the things that you eat that is standard to you. That's considered a diet. So anyway, I hope this blesses you. You guys have a wonderful night. I'm going to bed. Good night.